And welcome, fellow gamers. I am back playing some more video games. This time it's a Boy and His Blob, Trouble on Blobolonia. Sort of like Bob Loblaw's Loblog. On the NES. This game was indeed designed by David Crane, who is only too happy to plaster his name all over the title screen, as well as Gary Kitchen is another name that comes up around that era. The rest of the people I don't know. This game is an adventure/puzzle game, and you control the kid walking around, and the only things you can do are toss the blob right in front of me there, various jelly beans which he will eat, and then transform into various things to help you get around in this adventurous world. So you can toss him jelly beans like so, tossed him a licorice, and for the licorice flavor he turns into a ladder. When you don't want him to be that thing anymore, you whistle to him. And then there you go. He follows you automatically around wherever you want to go. You select between the myriad different flavors of jelly beans with the select button. So we got strawberry, coconut, cola, cinnamon, apple, vanilla, tangerine, root beer, honey, ketchup, punch, licorice. We're back to the beginning, I think. Yeah. The number to the left of that is how many of those jelly beans I have. You can pick up additional flavors as you play, which do additional transformations, and replenish the quantity of the ones you already have. At the top center of the screen says TR equals 22. That's the number of treasures you have left to find. I think technically you don't have to find any treasures to beat this game. They're just kind of fun to find. The first thing you'll probably notice is that this game doesn't scroll left and right at all. It just kind of jumps back and forth. And at the time I thought that was very, very strange. But then years later, when I actually found out who David Crane was and realized, oh, he's the designer of Pitfall, and Pitfall works exactly the same way, then it kind of made some more sense. So there's actually not much to do up top here. And no, you can't outrun the blob. He will gradually get further and further behind you, but he will catch up eventually. If he does get stuck on something, I don't think you can actually go into this building. But if he does get stuck on something, like behind a barrier or something, or gets like stuck below or above, then you can change to the ketchup jelly beans, and wherever you toss the ketchup jelly bean and it lands, the blob will appear right there. You only get 6 of those, though, so use them wisely. I'm vastly outrunning him right now. I think the only option to go treasure hunting and jelly bean hunting, because you don't start with, I think you don't start with, wait, do you? Tangerine. Yes, you do start with the root beer jelly beans, which gives you a rocket, and that's how you take off and go to Blobolonia. So maybe you don't actually have to collect any treasure in this game. It's just kind of fun to do. Okay, so I'm going to look for punch jelly beans. Oh, I just passed it. Punch. Punch turns him into a hole. And you fall through right like that. To get him to come with you, just whistle to him. One thing I really like about this game is the animation for the blob. It's really quite good for all the transformations and everything, and he's pretty expressive. I think overall this game gets kind of a bad rap, and I'm not exactly sure why. A lot of people can consider it to be a bad game, but I always had a lot of fun with it. Other than the lack of scrolling and how the controls can get kind of weird, especially when you're trying to stop. You see how I'm sliding around like that? It's because I've picked up momentum and I'm changing directions, and he doesn't stop very easily. And for some reason that momentum translates when you change directions. But other than those two things, I think it's kind of a fun game. I'm not sure what all the graffiti means. Sue baby. And you do have to punch through the floor here somewhere, and I don't know where, so I'm probably going to punch through in a place where I fall to my death. So here's as good a place as any, I think. Uh-oh, 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 splat! Told you. Seem to remember actually punching through right about here. Even that's too far. Fuck. Okay, I did see, when I went way over here, I saw, when I was falling to my death the first time, I saw a platform that I fell past that didn't seem like it was actually too far. It was like right here or so. Come on. While we're waiting for the blob to catch up. Gevorg Marashlin has joined us again. Excellent. Tom's apparently enjoying his dinner right now. I did just before the stream. I had burritos. Mini45 says, did they get the rights from Jelly Belly to use jelly beans? No, which is why they're not called Jelly Belly in the game. Just jelly beans, because jelly beans is not trademarked. Jelly Belly is. Tom's gone into his usual thing of messing up people's names. He has given SJ Rathbun 812 Strath Buns. SJ Rathbun 812 says the graffiti might be inside jokes by the game developers. That's what I was thinking. I'm betting that Sue Baby, is one of their wives. Gevorg Marashlin says, I hope the tip I left on your Banjo-Kazooie stream was helpful. Indeed it was. I will remember that next time I play it. Fortunately, you get lots of punch jelly beans. Good. Okay, that was not far. That was not too far. I think I'm going to explore just kind of left and right until I hit walls and then go down, because it's easier to kind of slowly make your way down than it is to try to come back up. I like the little musical jingles that go along with the transformations too. Oh shit! See, I tried to stop for that and he slid into it anyway. For this thing you can use, it's not strawberry. I don't think it's coconut either. Because I think coconut turns him into a ball that you can throw. Cola turns you into a bubble. You can use the cinnamon for this, which I think gives you a blowtorch. And then you can actually kill this thing. Or not, bitch. I thought you could kill it. It's not apple. Vanilla. What does vanilla do? I've got a lot of them, so let's find out. Vanilla gives you the umbrella, that's right. I think the umbrella may protect you from this thing. No, it doesn't! Son of a bitch! Is there nothing? I mean, you can just walk under it like that and be fine. But I could have sworn there was some way to kill that thing. Come over here. Okay. And hope that there's something to land on. Nope! Nope! Splat! Mini45 says, Jeremy, can you say banana whamma ding dong? I just did. He also says, can't you shoot medicine at the end of the game? Indirectly, and it's vitamins. I think it's vitamins. Gevorg Marashlin says, what is this game? It looks cool. It is A Boy and His Blob, Trouble on Blobolonia. And it is indeed an NES game. Let's play it some more. I think you actually can punch your way through this this manhole, but you can also come through it from below, which is what I will try to do if I can find a way over there. Stop sliding. A better way of selecting through the jelly bean types would certainly be helpful. Like maybe if instead of just one line at the bottom, you hit select and it gives you a menu that you can see like maybe 5 or 10 of them at a time, so you can quickly glance through them and then pick one. Of course, I say this now. I think it's probably okay to punch through right here. Because when I punched through over there, all I did was walk all the way over here anyway. What the? Okay. Yeah. Apparently when I walked to the left and hit that dead end, I had not walked all the way over to right here. Let's try right here, I guess. Oh shit! Okay. Come on off there. I want to punch right here. Tom's probably yelling at his screen right now saying, no, don't punch right there. Yeah, because then you fall through and you get either dead from the splat or you get rocks thrown on your head. Oh, I know what to do. I'm being stupid here. I can use the vanilla to get the umbrella and then just coast safely down to the bottom. See, isn't that nice? And then I can definitely use the cinnamon to get through that web. See, now there's those rocks falling, but I can use the vanilla again to protect me from those. See, the first time I ever played this, back when I was a kid, I tried to actually walk through this part and see if there was a pattern to the falling of the rocks, and then try and find safe places to stand. I think it's random, so you can still run too fast and catch one with your toe like I just did. But it may not be possible to get through there without the umbrella. And the umbrella does make it a hell of a lot easier, so why not do it? Son of a... One thing I don't remember exactly is if it's possible to get extra lives in this game. God, okay, I'm gonna need to pace myself for that. Basically, if I see something falling directly in front of me, I'm gonna stay put. Just wait for it to fall. See, I didn't wait long enough for that one. Alright, it's game over. Let's do it again. You know, for some of this stuff, it may actually be a little bit faster to pick the blob up and just take him with you. One thing I do like about all the transformations is that you can always see the blob's eyes still, no matter what he transforms into. Well, okay, except for like punch, that kind of stuff. But that definitely gives the game a lot of character. Stop sliding. I also heard that this game was programmed largely by David Crane in a pretty short period of time. He was like under an extreme time crunch. It was something like a month was all they gave him to do this. Jay says, I always enjoy when platformers have this kind of slight isometric perspective. Yeah, it gives the game more depth. Like what he's talking about is, it actually looks like, you know, there's some depth to that platform that I'm standing on right now, instead of me just standing on a line of pixels. Other games that did that include Contra and Super C, the Donkey Kong Country series, and probably a buttload of other ones. But then there was ones that stayed strictly 2D in their perspective. Why did I do that? Like most of the 2D Mario games, even for the most part the new Super Mario Bros. Series stays that way. I wish the jellybeans were also alphabetical. Jay says that that's one of those moments where you do worse each time. Yeah, that's been my whole gameplay so far. In fact, I might as well start calling that my style. I'm at least consistent about it. That's close. Shit, I saw that one coming and I went anyway. Although I do like the music in this game, I wish there was more of it. Okay, so made it through that. But for this, I want strawberry. Because strawberry turns him into a bridge. You just walk across. Provided you don't get fucked by the sliding and hit your head on the death thing. I start way back here? Come on, game. You bitch bag game. Jay says, speaking of programming, I just saw an article about how the guy that programmed Kirby's Dream Land did it all with a trackball, no keyboard. I saw that too. That's insane. That's crazy freaking insane. He said, Jay says that the guy used a trackball with an on-screen keyboard. That had to take for friggin' ever. And especially impressive is that, you know, even the very first Kirby's Dream Land, which I think I've played on my channel, is still really impressive. Like, it still feels very smooth, very arcadey in how it plays. Jay says, here, Jeremy, here's a ball. Perhaps you'd like to bounce it. The references are thick with this one tonight. Many45 says, I have a game programming disc for teens. Is that click and play, maybe? Oh, I probably didn't even need to use that. Oh well. And even though that looks like a repetition thing, it's not actually repeating. Reused maybe, but not repeating. That big-ass jewel right there does count as a treasure, so I'm gonna get it. Maybe wondering how? With the help of a trampoline. On this, you just basically hold up, I think, and he'll bounce a little higher each time. You can go crazy friggin' high with this trampoline, too. You can move off of it at any time to the left or the right, but then you have to worry about falling damage. So I'm slowing down my descent by holding down. And I didn't line him up quite properly, so... No, not there. I want him to land, like, right about here. A little bit more. See, this is where it gets kind of tedious. Okay, I guess that's a little better. That might not be too far to fall from. Okay, that's way out of alignment. Maybe he actually needs to be right about there, maybe. What the fuck? It's not moving, is it? So it needs to be like, he needs to be like right on top of this crack. Right where I am now. Okay, I'm just gonna try and flop off and get it. So I don't think that's too high. Okay, that's fine. Tom says you can't get extra lives until you get to Blobolonia. You can't pop out of the manhole until you are done in the underground part. The more treasures you collect, the more vitamins you can afford to shoot from your Vita Blaster in Blobolonia. Okay, there is a reason to, or not Vita Blaster, Vita Blaster, short for vitamin, I'm guessing. So there is a reason to collect the treasures. He also says you have to walk slowly under the rocks with the umbrella. I figured that out after many attempts. Many45 says, let's see. He says no, it's Thompson Source Tech 2005 second edition. I think you're going batshit again, dude. Don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, bitch. Thought I was fine right there. I don't think I lose. At least I restarted right there. I don't think I lost the treasures that I collected since then. So I don't have to screw around for 3 hours with that trampoline. Okay, so I'm going to look at where the height of his jump seems to be and try and time that. What the hell? Fuck, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go over here, and I'm just gonna punch right here and just say fuck you. Not gonna try and go under him. Omnia45 says they have a phone number. I'll make the best Super Mario hack ever. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Whoa. Tom says at the top that TR equals 17. That's how many treasures left for you to collect. Yep. I went through a lot of stuff really fast at the beginning of the video to explain it. That was one of the things that I hit on. And since I hit on it, hopefully, I'll be fucking it later. Get over here. Yerp. Thankfully, throwing the jelly beans is for the most part auto-aimed, just as long as you're not too far away from the blob. Is that one jumping higher? Because I got under it with no problems. Okay. So, float down that way. Nothing over there except a butthole. Okay, so I can go up right here, which I think is actually further over than I've been so far. And then he actually comes up with you when that happens. So you can just keep climbing up and up and up. There's a treasure up here. I've got a feeling that this game might have started as the design concept might have started as just you basically walking around and turning the blob into various things. Okay, I can't go further that way. And then they added in like the treasure finding element. And they're like, oh, that's fun. And they're like, wait a minute, it has to have some kind of point to it. So that's when they added in the other stuff that Tom's told us about, like collecting the treasures to power up the Vita Blaster. I won't punch again. No guts, no glory. Okay, ledge. I'll remember that, but I want to go back to the left here and see what's over this way. Because if there's already a treasure at this level, it'll be easier to get it now than to try and come back up to it later. Tom said if you go to the far right, where I said the butthole was, and you can go down if you make a hole, and there's a water level down there. Yeah, I remember that, which actually, that would have taken me out just over to the right here, so off of that ledge must be the water area you're talking about. And down there, I can use the cola jelly beans to turn him into a bubble and then go floating around down there. I want to see what's up right here. God damn. Tangerine. That's what I want. There it is. One thing I don't think I've ever done in this game is collect all the treasures. See, look at this. You can go crazy high with this. I don't know if there's actually an upper limit to how high you can bounce with this trampoline. See, look at that. It's nuts. Stop. I want to go down a little bit. I want to try and get up on those ledges right there. So I'm going to move him just a little bit to the left. First, I'm going to take a look over this way. Okay, I'm not going that way. I could, but I want to do this first. That's what makes this game kind of cool, is it's very non-linear and like this. It's very much like an adventure game. Okay, I went too high. Down a little. Perfect! Damn, that was nice. See, now I use the ketchup to get him up here. Gevorg Marashlin says, I'm back, did you pass the level? No, because there's only technically like 2 levels in this game. One here on Earth and one on Blobolonia. I'm still on Earth. He also says, wow, you can jump really high. I think I counted once. I found like, once upon a time, I found the area in here on Earth where you can bounce the highest, and I think I was able to bounce like 9 screens up. And I don't remember if it finally did max out at that point, or if I finally hit my head on something. I can't go through that? Bullshit. But I think you can if you do it over here. Because I guess for some reason there has to be, it has to not be all the way across? Yeah. I'm not sure why that matters. See, like this platform right here, it's not all the way across horizontally on the screen, whereas on here, it is. And I don't think it'll let me go up this way regardless because it's like a bunch of thick rock above my head. Nope. So, that vanilla. Here. Caught that one with his lower front teeth. Tom says there's one treasure in the water part that's really hard to collect, but it's possible. He says, I mean, there's a lot of treasures in the water part, but one is really hard to collect. I think I'm vaguely might know which one you're talking about because there's also a lot of spikes down there, and if you touch one of the spikes, they pop the bubble and you drown. I think I'm going to go bouncing again. Whoa. And this time I'm going to bounce all the way up as far as I can go. And then jump off. I smile because I just saw something that Jay said in the chat, which I'll get to here in a bit. Jay's making more Simpsons references. Oh, don't splat, don't splat! Here. I remember where this is. This is actually fairly close to right underneath the subway. Because, long time ago when I played this, I used to punch through wherever that is and land right on that left-hand ledge right there. And also something I thought was weird is some of the graphics in this game, like that background graphic of the stalactites are over there, I used to think were like, they look kind of like monsters. Like, it looks vaguely like a skull that's kind of facing the camera. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. Yeah, that's the one I was smiling about before, Jay says, how did I not think of this reference? Tramampoline! Trabopoline! That's when Homer saw the classified ad in the newspaper for a free trampoline, and it made him so excited he forgot how to talk. Minute45 says, Jeremy, how far have you gotten in your game, the game you're making? It's almost at a standstill. It's still progressing at a crawl. I need to do some admittedly simple things, and then I can continue making levels for it. And then once I've made a few levels, I think I might actually be able to show it in some form, which I will probably do on my channel, maybe in a Jeremy Shows. Tom said it was just a coinky-dink that I happened to find this stream just as you started, by the way. Then you need to you need to subscribe to me, Tom, and turn on notifications. Because then you'll get a thingy whenever I'm streaming. Or, you know, follow on Twitter, because I send out the Twitter notification just before I start. Tom also confirms that I'm right, that the treasure he's thinking about that's really hard to get, that's down in the water, is indeed surrounded by stalagmites. I call them spikes. He also says this game's a lot like Pitfall 2, which I actually haven't played. I don't think I even own it. Well, no, do I? I have either Pitfall or Pitfall 2 on the Atari 5200, still sealed. And he says he had that and a Boy and His Blob, which I didn't know were made by the same guy. What did you have Pitfall 2 on? Because it was on a few different consoles, I think. But as far as I know, a Boy and His Blob was only on the NES. And Tom says he does subscribe to me on YouTube, and that if he didn't, he wouldn't have known at all. Then you can hit the bell thing to get notifications. See, does this thing always bounce around in the same pattern? It seems to. No, it doesn't. It's a little bit different each time. Okay, this could be tight. I'm gonna get the licorice ready. Maybe there's a better way. Fuck. So if I hit that thing, it's game over. Tom says he had Pitfall 2 on the ColecoVision and a Boy and His Blob on the NES. Okay. Tom also says that's what the bell does. I never knew that. Is it on every channel or just channels that live stream? As far as I know, it's on every channel, because when you turn on the bell, you'll also get notifications when that channel posts new videos, not just when they're live streaming. Because I've set that up for a few channels that I follow as well, the ones that I really like. I turn on the bell, and then I get a notification on my phone whenever they upload a new video. Okay, this is probably going to instantly end in death. See, if it wasn't... Because if you watch its pattern, it moves a little bit each time. It's almost the same, but not quite. If it was exactly the same every time, then I could see exactly where the save points were to stand. Fortunately, though, it does bounce higher than the other ones, so that gives me some insurance. I remember seeing this one down here as a kid and being like, fuck that, I'm not getting that. Up, 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 up. Yes! Tom says if you don't have a phone where the notifications show up, I've never owned a cell. They can be emailed to you as well. I think you can actually, you might be able to configure that on your YouTube profile somewhere. Because I think you can change it to say whether it'll deliver the notification to your mobile device or if it'll deliver it via email. You should get a cell phone though, dude, so you can walk around and stare at it and look stupid like everybody else. Okay, I'm not wasting a ketchup jelly bean on that when I can fix it easily with a lot of licorice. As soon as he's done transforming, transform again, bitch. Eat these fucking jelly beans. Tom says he can't afford monthly payments on a cell. I don't blame you. I'm on a plan that works pretty well for me, and it was the cheapest that I could find that could still do a lot of data, which is what I primarily use. And it's still like 30 bucks a month. It's also prepaid though, which is pretty nice because if you don't have such good credit like me, or if you don't have any credit, but you are able to pay more upfront to get a phone, then you can get the phone and prepay, you know, your monthly, whatever you can afford, and still, you know, have a phone that way without having your credit checked or anything like that. Yep, I knew it was going to do that. Okay. Oh. Okay, I actually missed right there, and see, he's all sad because he missed the jelly bean. And this is actually a bag of jelly beans right here, which does count as a treasure. So let's see what else we got from that, if anything. Strawberry, coconut, cola, cinnamon, nothing new so far. We got 2 lime jelly beans, those are new. I forget what those do actually. Vanilla, tangerine, root beer, nothing new there. Honey. We did get more ketchup jelly beans, that's good. And punch, we got orange, which I'm not sure what those do. And then that looped back around to the beginning. So, okay, so right here is the part where it's right underneath the manhole cover. See if I can get him closer to this ledge. Okay, come over here. Oh, perfect. Okay, so this is where you use the apple. The apple turns him into a jack. Apple Jacks, get it? Like the cereal? Boop! Busts that off. And then if you so desire, you can use the licorice right there to ladder up out of there, and you're back up to the top. Which, now that I think about it, may be the only way to get out of here, because the way I came in was through the subway, but the way out of the subway was to punch a hole through the floor. But you may not be able to ladder back up that way because the ladder would get blocked by the thing, by the floor. I already looked over here, didn't I? Yes. See, I was kind of walking on air there for a second. That's something that the game actually does intentionally, kind of cartoonishly. It's like, you know, the old Roadrunner cartoons where Wile E. Coyote walks off a cliff and then he doesn't fall until he looks down and sees that there's no floor. You know, I bet either the lime or the orange jelly beans turns the blob into the Vita Blaster. Because that's something that Tom was mentioning before, and I do remember that now. But I was like, But how do you do it? How do you do the Vita Blaster? But I don't have very many of those, so I don't want to waste them. Tangerine, that's what I wanted. That's almost perfect. And crack, hit my head. Tom says one of the two, either lime or orange, is a key. I think you're right, that lime is the key. He says you need that at the end. I remember that now. Okay. I'm going to bridge across this. They also did do a sort of a remake of this game for the Wii. It's just called the Boy and His Blob. There's much fewer transformations in it, though, and it is much more level-based progression than this. So I wouldn't really call it a remake, actually. I'd call it more of a spiritual successor. It's not a bad game. I've actually played quite a bit of it myself. Not on my channel, but maybe I could. Because that's one of many games where I played a lot of it at the time, and then I got distracted by something else, and then I just didn't go back to it. More jelly beans. Let's see what I got here. Here, honey. I think the honey turns him into a bee. Now that I remember. I wonder if the bee can attack those jumpy things. Got more ketchup. Got a lot of orange. Strawberry, coconut, cola, cinnamon, apple. Still just 2 limes. We've seen this before. I think we're actually getting close to the underwater area down here. I'm going to try the bee right here. See if it can actually kill that thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I literally read that just now. Tom said that the honey turns him into a hummingbird, and I read that just as it turned him into a hummingbird. So what does that do? Oh, go get him. Go get him, dude. Get him. Obviously, apparently that doesn't do what I was hoping it would do. Tom says it doesn't kill anything. Okay. In that case, since there's no treasure over there, I'm just going to float on down. Yep, this is the underwater area. And we want cola. Tom says, I think Hummingbird only serves one purpose, to defeat the boss. Oh, come on, game! Walk over the cola bubble, you bull fucking flying shit. Okay. I don't think I want to play long enough to actually, beat the game, but I do at least want to go to Blobolonia so I can show you that. And you do start with the root beer. Tom warned me, probably while I was dying, he says, don't go for the hard-to-get treasure. I shouldn't have done that, yeah. I should have just gone. Oh, okay. I could have gone on it the other way and not slammed into the house, but it doesn't matter. Tom says you could turn the blob into a bubble on the land. I thought that's what I did. But I thought you could also jump into the bubble while it was in the water. Maybe not. I think those were some peppermints up there in the sky, which I'm not sure are for. Maybe that's ammo for the Vita Blaster. Since I'm basically not going to try and beat the game now, let's look at some of the other transformations. So honey with hummingbird, ketchup we know, punch, licorice, yes, strawberry, coconut, which I think turns him into a coconut. Huh. Yeah, you can pick him up and hurt. And cola we did. Well, I didn't actually get in it. The music does change a little bit for this. Not a whole lot. See, if I'd gotten into the bubble, then I could have gone into the water and just floated and been fine. So cinnamon, apple we did, vanilla, tangerine, root beer, and honey. So we've done all of them except for the lime and the orange. We've established that the lime probably turns him into a key. Those marshmallows are deadly. Ah, okay, that's what those are for. Tom says that the peppermints that I flew past, you can collect those and get more lives. He also says for the coconut, if you throw him in a way that he doesn't hit anything, he'll show you what's on the upcoming screens. That's what I hadn't thought of using him that way. That's brilliant. Because if you're on a ledge that you can't see what's below, you can throw him down there and it'll show you. But when you turn him back out of a coconut, does he come back to you? Probably not. And then you'd have to use a ketchup. Kind of want some marshmallows now. Fuck. I'm gonna look for those peppermints. Need tangerine. Fuck. Keep passing it. I don't remember if they're above the screen or not. Yes, they are. Splat! Okay, Tom, so how many peppermints do you have to get before you get an extra life? Tom says also there's a secret thing. If you throw him to the right in Blobolonia at the right time, he will clear all the upcoming screens of enemies. Interesting. So when he's a coconut, he can actually kill things. Which means he could take out all these marshmallows. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and try that. Throw him in a random time. Okay, the screen didn't follow him. Is he gonna come back? Tom says you need 5 or 6 peppermints to get an extra life. Look at that dick, he just walks through them. Of course, this is his home planet, so it makes sense that he's immune to deadly bouncing marshmallows. Wonder if I throw him on this screen, if he can kill the marshmallows. Oh, stream's trying to fuck up. Sorry, guys. Because it's been running for about an hour, so that's usually when it starts fucking up. Okay, he clearly hit some of those marshmallows and it didn't kill him. Tom must have been talking about different enemies than these things. Because there are different enemies on this planet. Shit. He says, I think you need to run while you're throwing him and do it from the first screen. Okay, I'll do that. I think I know what you're talking about, because I bet if you run and like keep him on the screen with you, like try and keep up with him, then he'll just keep rolling, but he'll be on the screen with you, so... Tom says he'll make the enemies disappear, he doesn't kill them. Okay. He's getting ahead of me, though. Piss. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is this right before the marshmallows? It is. Okay. I'm going to try it here. Then pick him up and throw him while running. Nope. Must not work on the marshmallows. Tom says maybe you need to do it closer, not from the first screen. Which I just did. And he said, I swear this works if you do it right. I believe you, Tom. It's just not working for me. But the timing has to be more precise than I'm pulling off. I want to at least get a little bit further on Blobolonia. Show you some of the other stuff. I think if I got the right timing for those marshmallows, then I could probably just run all the way through. I was about to say, did the game remember that I picked up the peppermints? Damn, stream's trying to fuck up again. Tom says, by the way, after you collect the treasures at the bottom, you go to the vitamin store to trade them in for vitamins. That's right. Now that you mention that, I do remember that. See, the only reason this is hard is because of the sliding. Shit. Fuck. See? There you go. Damn it. Getting him to stop in a precise place is not easy. See, sometimes he just kind of twitches a little bit, and sometimes he takes a full step. Run. Killer cherries? What the fuck? Son of a bit. Okay, I'm not doing that no more. Yeah, I think this video is done. So that's a Boy and His Blob. I used to be a lot better at it. It is an entertaining game. I do still like it. And yeah. Hope you like it too. Next time I'll be live streaming is going to be in a couple of days. If you want to be notified when I'm live streaming, there's two ways you can be notified. You can either subscribe to me on YouTube and then hit the bell thing, which Tom now knows. Or you can follow me on Twitter, because I send out a tweet on Twitter just before I start streaming, and you can find a link to my Twitter profile on my YouTube channel page. So, and I typically live stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at about 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So until the next stream or next video or whatever it happens to be, I'll see you.